They had to make a change. But to Key's point, the Grizzlies just won 56 games.
Yep.
Yes.
Ja was hurt. They still went 6 with the eventual champs. Jay, you picked, and I thought Ja was a top 5 potential finals MVP because you thought it was possible they could run the whole table last year. It's a little different than Philly because to Key's point, it looks like this nucleus could actually become a champion without wholesale changes. It does have that
so
look.
my question is, I come back to, if you guys have watched him enough, tell me, are you betting on Jaren Jackson? Because spending time down in Memphis, I can tell you a lot of Memphis fans are wondering about where he's going to go as an overall player. A little bit injury prone. There are times during the playoffs he didn't really show up. There are some questions. We've talked about Dillon Brooks multiple times on this show. So it starts to talk about hedging that bet. Do you believe in that front court and those two players? And if you're a part of the party that doesn't, if they're part of a trade package to add Kevin Durant, that puts you over the hump.
Yep, that's a good.
All these other teams have more experience than you. And I get you can try to wait them out, but the Clippers are there. Denver's going to be there. Phoenix is still there.
Jaren Jackson, though, is already good, and he's young.
I'm going to wait him out, though.
Okay.
I'm going to wait him out because they already getting there and developing. This is not Philadelphia. This is not the process. The process ran out. The process got to a point where coaches was being fired and all of those sort of things. So you needed to do something. If Kevin Durant was a free agent, yeah, I'm going to go give him all the money in the world. All I'm saying is I don't care how many picks I have, I'm not willing to just dismantle what I've just built and start all over again, especially when you start thinking about the teams that you just named out west and what they have. Eventually, they're going to get older, and we're going to still be young. We're going to get older making the Kevin Durant decision. That gives us a 2 to 3 year window.
I would say the number one issue with KD for me, other than age, and it's related to age, is 35 games after the injury and then 55 games since. Like, he has not played 60 games yet in a season. That would be the only real thing that would stop me from pulling the trigger because they have so much in Memphis. You can move a lot of pieces and still keep a lot of what you got. You know, it's not like another team where you just don't have a team there anymore. It's either going to be Bane or Dillon Brooks.
You're still going to have a team, but are you going to be deep? Is your bench going to be deep?
No, you're going to obviously you're going to have to thin yourself out. There's
exactly.
No choice.
So is it worth the thinner to get to Kevin Durant? That's what you got to weigh.
I just want to just somebody clip this.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Boston Celtics giving up Jaylen Brown, right? First round pick and Derek White. And Boston's like, nah, because Brooklyn wants the likes of Marcus Smart added along, right? Defensive player of the year. Defensive player of the year. And then Jaylen Brown, who's one of the best two-way defenders in the NBA, right, for Kevin Durant. Boston. Are we really wondering about Jaren Jackson and Dillon Brooks?
No, but you're wondering about Desmond Bane.
I'm not even thinking twice about this.
So Bane,
I'm telling you, as a basketball guy, I'm not even thinking twice about this.
So Jay, but that's a change from the beginning of the segment. The more you think about it, at first you're like, I don't want to include Desmond Bane. I guess if I have to, I'm on the fence. Now you're saying, in the end, I'm going to do it.
Well, because I'm still not including Desmond Bane. I'm giving you other assets.
I know, but maybe they don't want those other assets.
But it's not coming down to Desmond Bane. I'm telling you that.
Okay.
But
if it did come down to Desmond Bane, are you throwing him in there?
That's what I want to know.
With who else?
Jaren Jackson and draft picks.
Sure.
Yes,
even though Desmond Bane was the reason that the Grizzlies, when Ja got hurt.
I love Desmond. Kevin
when Ja got hurt, he kept them together.
Kevin Durant's maybe in your all-time starting 5 is the thing. I mean, he's a different kind of player.
Look, I picked Memphis to go deeper. I think one of the things I saw is Steven Adams obviously being hurt. I do not, and I love him as a player. He is an exceptional player. But the upside, I'm capping the upside of Jaren Jackson. I like Dillon Brooks. You're going to have contract stuff with him coming up too. It's just not like about all these players fit. We can keep everybody. You're going to have guys, Key, that are going to want to be paid as top-tier guys, that you're going to have to make decisions on them anyway to relieve cap space to get a guy like Kevin Durant with Ja Morant in the Western Conference. I think sets a team like Memphis up for the next 3 to 4 years.
See, but I'm a league average type player.
I'm a long game guy when it comes to this sort of stuff, Jay. If you told me Kevin Durant from 5 years ago, it's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But you're telling me Kevin Durant, how old was he, Max? 30?
He's
what did you
30,
say he is?
age
He's gonna be
33.
He's going to be
this is
34
the
when the
age
season
34
starts.
season. Oof.
When the season starts.
And he
So I'm
hasn't played
giving
a full
all that
season
up,
in a while.
and I understand LeBron James is going to play till he's 89. I get it. Kevin Durant doesn't look like he's slowing down. I understand. I get all of that. But I'm not willing to bet for the next 2 to 3 years that I'm going to win a world championship by giving up those assets and those young players that eventually, again, as these older teams, as the Golden State Warriors get a little bit older, as the Lakers obviously fall apart, get a little older, as Clippers fall apart, get a little bit older. I'm not willing to put myself in that position. Chris Paul is going to retire at some point in Phoenix. That is going to be a different team than we saw over the last 2 seasons. So I'm just not willing to do that, but that's me.
Jaren
what
Jackson,
the hell do I know?
No, Keith. Jaren Jackson 2 years ago played 11 games, and now he's been out with a foot. So you have foot surgery this offseason. I'm just
the bottom line is guys like Jaren Jackson and Desmond Bane, guys like that you can acquire. Guys like KD are very difficult to acquire. But the age is a real thing. Carlos in Florida, what would you do?
Hey, guys, how y'all doing? I want to respectfully disagree with Key here on this one. I'm going to say that putting Durant over into the Memphis Grizzlies does not put him over the top. I think it's crazy. We're talking about the best scorer possibly that has ever played the game, and teams don't have time to wait. Let's just say like the Philadelphia 76ers, they've been trying to put something together. They've been right there, can't get over the hump. I don't think Memphis has the time to wait 5 years to see if they can make it when you can pull the trigger, get Kevin Durant, and I think it'll automatically take you into the finals.
And just
to a
keep in mind,
but let me say this though.
Ja's
so Ja, Bane, KD, Brandon Clark, and Steven Adams is enough shooting, huh?
But Key, you can go out.
I'm just asking. Is that enough?
Yes.
But I think that gets you close. I think that gets
yeah.
you close. But it's just not as here are 5 names that remain on the roster. You can still plug holes. Yeah. You can still find pieces that are suitable to what your team needs around those players.
Wait, though, Jay. They can find pieces, but the Lakers can't, huh?
Why? This ain't about the Lakers,
you know why?
man.
Hold
no,
on.
I'm laughing.
Yes, the answer is yes,
I'm laughing
Key.
because you say they can find this, they can find that. When I try to tell you that about the Lakers, you look at me like I'm crazy.
No. I'm glad you brought that up. Absolutely, the answer is yes, they can, and the Lakers can't. And the reason is the Lakers are capped out. The Grizzlies, even with this move, would still have flexibility, draft picks. They haven't made their AD move yet, right? The Lakers had to put everything in the pot to get AD. KD is coming cheaper, and Memphis has got more stuff than the Lakers had. Like, it's nuts. The Memphis is in the position to pull the trigger on an enormous deal and still have stuff left over.